Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to The Sphere. This episode is sponsored by KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463.
Oh, and I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm blackity black. And I'm black, y'all. Hey, what's going on? Let me be the first to say Happy Black History Month. This is Mr. W.J. Knotts, the militant gent himself, Nathaniel James, here for Jizz for Gentlemen. And my co-host,
Mr. Body by Royce, a.k.a. I'm going to shoot that shot, a.k.a. I'm happy it's Black History Month as well, man. How was your week?
Oh, man, my week has been cool, but I've been waiting on this all week long, man. This is my favorite month out the year. If you guys have not been able to tell, I love the celebration of black people. I'm loving everything about this. This is the best month. Black History Month, NBA All-Star Game. My birthday is this month. My sister's birthday is this month. My brother's birthday is this month. So February is a good month for me, man.
Yeah. What about Valentine's Day?
Nah. That too. All of that's good stuff, man. It's just good vibes, just good feelings going on in the month of February.
It's a beautiful month. It's a beautiful month. February is most definitely one of my favorite months out the year as well. But yeah, it's a lot going on. Super Bowl, All-Star. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Before we get too deep, I want to give a shout out to Senior Whopper. As you can see, he's not here today. He's on daddy duty. But luckily for him, me and Royce are spiteful people, so all of his followers, come follow us.
Follow us.
We will not let you down. We'll be here every week, on time, all the time. Check us out.
I'm not going to spell out my name like he do with the Spanish and everything. It's just Body by Royce, all one word. You know, and ladies, you can slide in them DMs if you need to. You know, and I answer all my fan mail, so, you know, you can definitely do that.
Here he goes, man. So, like we said, happy Black History Month. And so one of the things I wanted to do, and I've even done this on the WJ Knotts stuff, I take it upon myself to try to highlight somebody every day throughout Black History Month. Mm-hmm. So this week, we are going to highlight Mr. Jeffrey Banks. So Jeffrey Banks is a designer. He was a go-getter from a young age, working in the top ranks of Ralph Lauren and Calvin Klein before establishing his own namesake firm in 1978. At the age of 25, Banks brought a masculine element of glamour from the 20s and 30s of Hollywood to his contemporary clothing. His name graced suiting, neckwear, and accessories, but his biggest moneymaker was the furs he designed for men and boys. So, just, you know what I'm saying, I just want to just take the time out to, acknowledge people that came before us, people that paved the way. This is a show talking about gentlemanly style and things of that nature. So, shout out to Mr. Jeffrey Banks, and hopefully that motivated somebody and taught something to somebody that they did not know before.
Yeah, it's most definitely amazing to see how in pretty much every industry, and that's him up there. Oh, okay, I like that coat he got on too.
Oh, the brother is fresh, man.
That coat is dope. I'm gonna have to give me one of them.
It's very fresh. I even saw it. I was reading an article about him, and I hate that I can't remember who the woman was. She said the coats he made basically was so fresh that as a woman she wanted to wear them.
Yeah. Oh,
He was like, the guy was just that good at what he did. Like, she was like,
designer.
I wanted to wear his stuff.
Yeah, that's
so,
heck of a designer.
Not to Mr. Banks.
But I mean, he worked for Ralph Lauren and Calvin Klein, so it's like those have been two of the most consistent clothing brands for the past 30, 40 years in fashion.
Forever. It's a staple, man. They're not going anywhere. So for him to be able to do that, that's saying a whole
even
lot.
back then.
Yeah,
For
you're
a
right.
black to be working for those companies, like that's amazing. I never, to be honest with you, I never even heard of the guy, but I'm definitely gonna go read up on him.
And it's crazy because while I was doing those highlighting different designers and people in fashion, there were so many people I had never heard of, but it was so many people that had did so many things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was happy that I had the chance to look up these things, and I wanted to try to bring light to those people because it's people that's kind of, I guess, falling through the cracks, but they have really paved the way for a lot of people.
Obviously, he's paved the way for a lot of people because that coat that he had on, bro, I would wear that coat right now.
Nah, it was definitely.
It was definitely a dope coat.
Yeah, but check this out, man. So it's Black History Month.
Yeah.
It's Black History Month.
Oh yeah.
It's Black History Month.
Of course.
The greatest month out of the whole year, in my personal experience, my belief. So I pose this question to you, right? Why is the African American male so important? Well, the African American gentleman, let me be more specific, to the culture in this day and time. And I don't just mean just black culture. I mean just the culture and the fiber of America.
I mean, to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I feel like African American culture is what shaped culture in America anyway. A lot of things that have been taken, we've had our imprint in music, we've had our imprint in fashion, we've had our imprint in beauty and you know the makeup and the hair market. But basically because we are the risk takers and we're the trailblazers. And I feel like that's why we are so important. And also we're the leaders. We're the leaders of our families. We're the leaders of our communities. Where communities have been in shambles is probably because men have been taking care of those communities. And then in urban neighborhoods where communities have been on the uprise, as there has been a man saying, you know what, I'm not going to let my community go down.
I definitely agree, man, because it's funny, like, when I was making some notes, you pretty much hit everything that I made notes about, like, how does it affect his community?
Mm-hmm.
How does it affect his family and stuff?
Yeah.
And just the fact, to me, there is nothing more powerful than seeing an African American man who's actually trying to be a man.
Very true.
You know what I mean? So who's actually giving back to his community, who's going back, helping people, who's showing people a way, showing them, like, giving them direction to build future kings and to lead future kings and queens.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's very important. And then I know you have a different perspective because you are a father.
Yeah, most definitely.
So you see it, how important the representation is every day, all day long.
The kids at my daughter's school, you can always tell what father is and what father isn't around.
Is that a parent?
Yeah, by the way the children handles themselves. Basically, you know, I used to read to her class or kind of play with the kids or whatever, and my daughter, she knows that I love her. You know what I mean? And she knows that I love her so much that she's confident. Like, you know, my daddy loved me. He tell me I'm beautiful all the time. He tell me I'm his princess, this and the other. So it's a difference in how she walks, and her head is up high. And I tell her every single time you're talking to somebody, look at them in the eyes because you should be confident. There are a lot of kids that fathers haven't been around that doesn't instill that in them.
I could believe, man, I remember, it's funny, I remember one day I was visiting my dad. I remember we were walking down the street. He was like, man, stop looking at the ground, put your head up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I was actually just looking down. I was hoping I could find some change or something. Not trying to be like I wasn't thinking less of myself, but but it made me think just the fact that he was like, no, man, raise your head up, be proud of who you are.
Shoulders back, like, chest out.
Like, yeah, because you never want people to think that you don't believe in yourself. So you believe yourself. Like, let that confidence just flow. Don't ever be bashful about what you're doing. Be proud of what you're doing. So you're right. Representation is huge.
Very much so.
It's very huge, man. My favorite thing on here, another question I said, how does it affect style? Uh-huh. So, like, my perspective of it is, like, I feel like, not saying women can't lead, but I feel like people look at men as leaders, right?
Yep, most definitely.
And then I feel like they look at black men more so as
trendsetters.
Whatever they do, I feel like people follow.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I think the African American gentleman is so important, because if you're doing something negatively, it becomes real popular.
Yeah.
Man. If you're doing something right, it becomes real popular.
Yeah.
Like I remember when people when I was growing up, everybody was rocking Dickies and white tees and Chucks, but it was gangsters rocking, but it was black men I was looking at.
Yeah, looking and it was the people that were being looked up to in the community. When whoever the guy is that has status in the community, no matter what he's doing, he might have been a gangster, he might have been a drug dealer, he might have been a guy that is going to work at 9 to 5, but whoever is being admired in that community, yeah, that is the aspect. And even today in fashion and whatever trends are happening, whoever's being admired is what it is. The Jerry Lorenzos and the Heron Prestons and and everybody. So I feel like we affect style, and whatever trends that happen for man's fashion, you're more than likely going to see one of us being the one in it first.
And you're right. I definitely believe we are the trendsetters, but I wonder why is it that they like our stuff so much more? You ever talk like
because we unapologetically. I don't want to say unapologetically black, but that's exactly what we are.
So do you think it's just because we don't care what nobody else does? We just do it how we want?
Because we're going to rock it with creativity, and we're going to rock it with confidence. And regardless of what you say, I mean, it's what it is. Like, for the past 10 to 15 years, we have shaped the fashion scene, period, point blank. Like, when everything turned back around, when Jerry Lorenzo took us all back to grunge, that was Fear of God that did that. Before that, when we had pink polos and backpacks, that was Kanye. And even in the middle, in between Kanye and Jerry Lorenzo, it was Kanye again. With the whole with the futuristic, the wax jeans and the Yeezys and the wearing the So we, every single time fashion changes back around, we were doing it, and then it catches on with the rest of the world. Now, we don't necessarily monopolize on it. We didn't back then as we do now. Back then when we were created, we would set the wave, but we wouldn't ride the wave and make a bunch of money off of it.
So now we're making money.
We're making money off of it now.
You know how you can learn how to take care of your money?
Tell me how.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. Did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? That's 33%. Or more than 77 million of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month, and 39% of adults say they don't have enough savings. Don't become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or email us at info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask us how you can participate in the complimentary financial literacy workshops near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new face of the new age of financial services.
Please get your coins right. Please get your money together, people out there. Like, that is very, very imperative these days, because the way this economy is right now, you got to have your rainy day fund, you got to have your investments, you got to have, you got to have a savings. So please contact them and get your coins straight. Yeah,
that's going to be something that I preach every week.
Yeah.
I try to find out a way to work that into every conversation I have with my mother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, you ever thought about taking? I always try to find some clever new way to work that in. Okay, man, check this out. So we're talking about the African American gentleman, and we've kind of touched on this before in the past. What are some qualities you think they should have, man? Like, if you talking to people, I'm an African American gentleman. I'm a gentleman. I'm a black man. I'm a gentleman. If people see you and you're a gentleman, what do you think some things that are going to come to mind when they see you? What should exude out of you, man? What should...
Confidence. Courage.
Okay.
Intelligence. Patience.
I agree with patience.
And there are various things. What about you?
Man, okay, I agree with those things. I try to go out the I try to say something most people don't say. Thick skin.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
A lot of times we don't do things because a lot of times we do stuff because it's the cool thing to do, and we don't do things because we want to impress this person or that person. And typically, when you're trying to impress people, it really puts you in a worse off situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you just thick skin and just don't worry about what people have to say. You just leave them where they be. I think that helps people go a long way.
And then another way to thick skin, in my opinion, is, we got to work that much harder than our counterparts in order
Of
to
course.
achieve the same amount of success. So we're going to be told no a bunch of times. We're going to be, the door going to be closed in our face a bunch of times. We might not get this or that position that we feel like we're qualified for. So we have to have that type of fortitude. And like you said, that type of thick skin to be like, you know what? It's still going to happen regardless.
Yeah,
No matter how many no's I get, it's
of
still going to
course,
happen.
you're right. I think we need to have a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
I feel like we procrastinate more than anybody else.
Very
I
much
think
so.
we got to stop procrastinating and trying to do stuff now instead of later.
Very much so.
Another thing I said, I feel like you got to have a sense of responsibility. When I say a sense of responsibility, I feel like everybody has I feel like I have a moral obligation to give back, to help the next individual, to because nobody does anything alone. So like this person helped me, I can at least help the next person.
Yeah.
Whether it be an encouraging word, whether it be some knowledge that I might have, whether it's just me just being nice to somebody, having patience with them when they had a bad day. Just that's something else I really believe that you can do. I think people just overlook things like that.
Because we all want to be that guy. Like we weren't helped. I mean, the reason why I'm a trainer today is because an owner of a black gym took a chance on me and was like, say, you special. I feel like you can do this and the other, because I was interviewing at the 24-hour fitnesses and everything.
Okay.
And it was like, your brand, your style, we just don't like here. We want
Really?
a particular, because,
Hold on, I'm curious. Okay, what they said?
Well, basically, it was more so, I'm about results and trying to get these people in and out, whatever the case may be. They're about, leading you along very, very slowly so they can keep milking that money out of you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, my thing is, if I get these people the results, I'm going to make more money anyway.
That makes sense. Cause you thought was like, how could they not like?
Yeah,
if you
so,
train,
I wasn't getting hired at these gyms, and this guy was like, hey, you know what, come on over here. And he actually gave me one of his clients. I was like, say, you work with her, do what you got to do, because you got a future in this. And shout out to John Mitchell. If you ever watch this, or if somebody's watching this and knows John Mitchell at Fat Body Gym, he was the one that took a chance on me and believed in me and saw some stuff in me that I didn't even see. When I came up to him and told him I wanted to be a trainer, he was like, I was waiting on you to come and tell me this for about 6 or 7 months. So, and before I even thought about being a trainer. So that sense of responsibility, now anytime somebody asks me for some help, I'm there. Like it's no problem, because I want to see more people make it.
But that's dope, man. My thing is, if you're helping somebody, they're more inclined to help the next person, which, especially if they're in the same circle that you're in, it's going to make things much easier for you. You know what? Because I'm about to dive into this, but before we dive in, we got to pay some more bills. Facebook Lives, we ask that you subscribe to our show on all the major platforms, including iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify as well. Review our show in iTunes with constructive feedback. Share this Facebook Live post and the entire show with your family and friends. Donate to our mission to bring enriched and inspiring content each and every week. You can donate at www.thesphere.tv/donate. Thank you. Facebook subscribers, we need you. We love you. Please help us out. Please. I'll tell you another thing I think we got to have, man, a thirst for knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's something, hey, I can even say that about myself, man. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a big reader. I don't necessarily enjoy reading.
Yeah.
But I know it is necessary. So I try to pick up things that it's necessary. Like I don't like exercising, but I go exercise because it's necessary.
Yeah.
So I thank God for him putting that in me to realize, all right, there's certain things you got to do whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think reading is one of those things. It's just seeking knowledge and really just seeking more and not being content.
Most definitely.
I really think we have to have that in our community, and I really think that just as a gentleman, you got to have that, because if you don't grow, you can't do what we were talking about. You can't pass on knowledge to other people. You can't help them out in that way. I think it's something that a lot of people just kind of mull over as well, man.
Most definitely. I think there has been a generational gap in the thirst for knowledge, and I feel like possibly the generation before us, moms and dads was too busy working. You know what I mean? That was the era of the.
But I don't think that's an excuse, even if you're working, man. I don't.
But I think some of moms and dads were still at work when we got out of school. I mean,
Yeah.
I was raised with my grandparents, and the thing is grandmother had a 5th grade education, so By the time I graduated elementary school, I'd already surpassed her
Gotcha.
intellectually. So there wasn't too many things I couldn't ask her for help with 6th grade math homework, you know. So my thirst for knowledge was based on because I was playing basketball and I wanted to continue to play basketball. So that's why I passed my classes. But I think now it's coming back around because we are in this phase of empowering our own.
And I think that's dope, man. I think I think one way to go about it is, I think whatever niche or things they like, do something, make it enjoyable for them. Like make it cool, make them stuff they can interact with people, make it something they would really enjoy. I think that goes a long way, because I know whenever I was learning stuff, I'd be like, that's boring.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not fun. So I think you find ways to make things fun and entertaining. I think that kind of helps the process, man. Because even as an adult, there's certain stuff that I probably wouldn't have taken the time to learn about then, that I read about. I'm like, oh, okay, it's cool. Or I've seen like a Facebook ad about it or an Instagram post, and it was presented in such a way, like, oh, well, that looks interesting. Or I'll go check out that art gallery, or I'll go check out that show. But it's still the same educational stuff. It was just presented to me in a different way that made it seem cool to go.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying, to go check out. So I think that's really cool, man. Those are just things I think we gotta have.
We got to. Those qualities are very imperative. Like you hit the nail on the head with all 5 of them. I mean, there are a lot of different things that we need to do, and a lot of different characteristics that we need to possess in order to be successful in our communities and in this nation. But those 5 are very, very good.
Man, it was one I left off, and I'm going to say this because I had this in my notes. It's very important. Empathy. You have to be empathetic, man.
Yeah.
So I know I see it with our community a lot of times. Like, I might make it, and I'll be like, well, shoot, you can get it if I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, man, I can't lose sight of how hard it was for me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of goes back to, like, you got to help the next person. Like, understand the struggle. Like, you see what the person might go through. Like, empathize.
Yeah, but that also goes into the sense of responsibility. I feel like those two tie into each other, and that's the main reason why I'm the type of dude that don't judge anybody that because I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. You know what I mean? And there were decisions that I decided to make that were best for my life, that a lot of other kids weren't presented with those same decisions. So now the reason why I want to work with so many at-risk youth and things of that nature is because I was one of those kids. I was one of those considered to be at-risk youth, even though I wasn't even a bad kid. I was just a kid that was misunderstood. So, the empathy is very, very important, because it is our responsibility to give back. It is our responsibility to understand that, hey, we went through the same thing and the cycle has not stopped.
But this is my thing, man. This is kind of off the path. But how do we make people understand that it is our responsibility?
So many of us have grinded so hard.
Is there a way to make people understand it's our responsibility?
They understand and they know it. It's a matter of applying it, because they know it.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, how many brothers have made it out the hood and moved elsewhere? And don't get me wrong, I've made it out the hood and work and move elsewhere as well, but I still go back because there are still kids that I see me in them, that were bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and thinking about the world and being very, very energetic. So we all know. It's just that some people are so in tune with, say, man, all I got to do is take care of my wife and my kids, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Does everybody really know? Because some people have a eat or be ate type idea about life. So they be like, well, shoot, I did it. I took care of mine. We good. Boom, I'm good.
It's just basically a choice. They know it. They just choose to have a line onto it, which I understand that as well, because,
they truly might feel like I don't like that's not my child. That's not my job. It's not my obligation.
Yeah, and I understand if they do.
So that was my question. So what can we do to make people realize it is important to get back? Are we just to be just an example? Do you try to beat them over the head with it?
No, the best thing is to lead by example. It's all about sowing seeds. I'll put it that way. How many times can somebody tell you something that you really don't want to do, and you actually listen to them. Because you're a strong-minded brother. Ain't nobody finna beat you over the head with no words. Now, if I go off and set an example and you see it, it's like, okay, Royce was out there, doing his thing with them kids. Well, maybe one day I'd chill with him and do it, but not today though. And then it looks totally different because now you see me out there rather than me telling you what to do. Because the first thing you're gonna be like, are you out there? Are you doing it?
Now, Royce, do you believe that's something that, like, within our community, I ain't gonna say that can be changed because anything is possible, but do you think that's something that will be changed, man? Do you honestly believe that will happen in sometime in the future?
It's my prayer that it be changed, and I have to consistently believe in our people.
Now I understand that. That's your prayer. Like I'm be honest with you, man. I don't think it will be, but will I continue to do things to go towards it? Yes, I will.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm not gonna give up on it.
And I mean, we can still choose to touch a life because if we touch one life, that life can be responsible for thousands.
This is true. Now, I do believe you can affect certain people to help them out and be better in certain ways. And as a whole, the big picture wise, I don't think it'll necessarily change. But I do believe people can be touched individually. And I think that's where I kind of put most of my efforts toward.
Okay. Well, yeah, and that's most definitely. But this portion of the show is sponsored by The Spear. Are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? Mm-hmm. If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Spear. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms such as iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every single time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thespear.tv. But yeah, I can understand if you feel like it won't happen. I just feel like, anything is possible. Anything is possible, and sometimes you just got to have that optimistic view of things because
I pray that we get better, man. I don't think we are as a people. I pray that we do. I work towards it so we can, but I really don't believe
as a whole, I think we are, but it's more so if everybody now is trying a different way to get that bag.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And not the sense of responsibility and not the empathy aspect, but everybody out here trying to get that money because now we're seeing more and more self-made people that are taking over social media platforms and using it to make the millions of dollars. And
that's true. And I'm going to tell you what, it gives me hope, but it scares me at the same time. So the fact that it's kind of cool, like right now, it's popular. So, to be pro-black, to do positive things.
Yeah.
It's popular. So a lot of people are really working towards it. So I like that, but I'm scared once it doesn't become cool anymore.
Yeah. What's going to happen?
Yeah, because that shouldn't be the basis of you trying to for
taking advantage of it, riding that wave.
Now, granted, right now it's pushing us in the right direction, but something being cool shouldn't just be the foundation for you wanting to do something.
Yeah, most
so
definitely.
that's why I'm kind of like, ooh, I like the fact that we working, we moving, we shaking, we trying to do some stuff. Mm-hmm. But what's gonna happen once it ain't?
Yeah, what's your motive behind it?
Once it ain't cool no more,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are people still gonna ride that wave? Or they're gonna be like, oh, what's on to the next?
What's on to the next?
What's on to the next one? Well, man, we could talk about that all day, man. But let's move on to this next subject, man. Why do you believe there has been a research, or do you believe there's been a resurgence in gentleman style? I think it has been.
I think it has.
But why do you think so, man?
I think more so, and I hate to say based on trends, but part of it is trendy, but we just have access to more resources these days in order to build ourselves up and build up our character. And a lot of people are about self-help these days. That's the whole new thing now, people healing and getting rid of toxicity in their lifestyles, no matter if it's relationship or their own behavior pattern. And I think the more people are becoming aware of themselves,
okay,
and their ancestry, wherever ancestry it may be,
was it a sense of pride, you think?
Yeah, it's more of a sense of pride and accomplishment, and that gives them the comfort, and it gives them the confidence to go out here and just live life differently.
Okay, so when I think about it this way. So I remember, like, I'll be at home, like I might be visiting my grandma, back when my pops was living, seeing him and stuff like that, or our aunt's house. And I look at all these old pictures, and when they going out, they suits and like they was really dressed up, right? And then I think about when my brother and them, and my sister was older, people going out. It wasn't as dressy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then fast forward, I think about I'm growing up. I think about like the Jay-Z, the Rock Boy videos, and some of the bitches. They were going back to them suits and ties and dressed. So I'm like, I'm like, what? I wonder like what pushed that wave, man? Like what made that come along? Because I don't. People looking grown, man. They looking like they really about something. I like that. Or you see like the Jadenas and people like that. They really pushing like this whole gentleman look agenda.
Yeah.
You see people talking about it's like people just want to be more cultured. I'm like, what made that so popular? People like the Farnsworth Bentleys and people like that. You see more people talking about cigars and wanting. Like, I'm like, okay, people really get into this culture, man.
Because they see the most successful men that are doing it and how well off they are. And so they decide to try to partake in it themselves. And I feel like at first it's the look, it's a status thing. And then, you practice anything long enough, you're going to be good at it. You know what I mean? So, like, Jay-Z was the first dude that wanted to stop wearing a bunch of jewelry and take the rims off your car and, sit and sip wine and smoke cigars and stuff like that. So I think when these iconic figures out there started doing it, I think that's when it trickled down to more so of the average person.
Yeah, I guess so, man. You start seeing these people coming to like this boardroom stuff and things start looking cool and bro, I love the look, man. I love it because, man, it just kind of reminds me of okay, this is what it reminds me of. So, like when I was in college, that's when College Dropout came out, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's like it was on the same level.
Yeah.
So when I see people dressing, doing all this, but then still in the urban community having a good time, I just feel like, all right, it's just. Now you're just seeing the next level that we're on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all right.
We grew.
We just went from one step to
late registration to graduation to.
So we just went to the next step. So all right, yeah, man. It's like so I love seeing that look in our community. Like yeah, okay, we've evolved, but we still like all this back here. So like we might be at a place and they playing the dope music we like, but you still see everybody suited and booted. I'm like okay. I'm like, that's dope. Cause before you wouldn't have seen people in here with the suits and all of this, but I love it though, man.
Yeah.
I think it's the most beautiful thing, man. When you walk in a nice spot and you hear the music that you enjoy and smell the food that you like cooking, and then you see all these beautiful brothers and sisters dressed from top to bottom, looking like they all just got overpayments and tax return checks on the same day, man.
Like they did in the 80s. They used to dress up in suits to go everywhere in the 80s.
But I think that's cool, man.
Yeah.
And I really like that that's back. But I wonder what was it just like? We're just gonna do this. I think it's a dope move. I like how it's come back around because, hey, anybody who watches who listens to the podcast, they know like I love the suits and all that. And that's what I do. So for me, it's great. But I always wonder, like, man, what made it just start popping again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I thought that was gone for a long time.
I think more so the celebrities, and the influencers. Even though I hate to say that word, but the influencers in the media, kind of you seen them out doing more and more, dressing up and going to different events because you see Jay-Z and Beyonce everywhere. You'll see them at the opera, you'll see them at a basketball game courtside.
And I think
so that
dope,
gives
man.
us, and then like I said, it's just the whole thing about us being more cultured, and we are traveling more and we're seeing more other cultures and we're getting more cultured and like you said, the thirst for knowledge, and I think that's what is giving us more of an opportunity to express ourselves in a true gentlemanly lifestyle.
Man, because to be honest with you, man. Like we're so behind. There's a lot of dope stuff that we've been missing out on for years.
Yeah.
4 years.
Now, speaking of dope, this portion of the show is sponsored by a dope company, KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? You can unleash your dopeness. It's a people empowerment movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside of their fears and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passions in life. Join thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells inside. Shop dope gear at kogpassion.com. That's kogpassion.com. And use the coupon code DOPE for 10% off exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now. Sizes are selling fast. But yeah, that's most definitely. I think like I said, the influencers and the people that are in the media and are consistently on camera, because they are accessible via Google and Twitter and Instagram these days, and everybody's out there getting pictures taken by the paparazzi. And I think say, hey, if it's good for that person to dress that way, if it's good for that person to partake in these type of activities, then why can't I?
Yeah, man, I agree, man, but I love it, and I love it when I see people that I can relate to that remind me of myself. Doing like when I see the Diddy's, and and the Damon Johns and the Jay-Z's with it. I'm like, man, these brothers. I was like, it's like they're my it's like they're my representatives in a sense. You know what I mean? Like they listen to the same thing I'm listening to. They watch the same thing I watch. But they are in there presenting themselves just like everybody else in there. So it's like, yo, we got a representative up there. I think that's dope, man. And how we were talking about, just the different people and different figures. Who do you consider to be like the ideal black gentleman? Now, you can take your time. You can think for a few seconds. People out there listening, y'all can think about it too for a second. I'm gonna say it again. Who is your ideal African American gentleman?
I'm gonna say.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm gonna say in my opinion. I mean, we all got different opinions, but I gotta go with Barack, man. The way this brother for 8 years was being shunned upon and was being talked about and made mockeries of leading this country, and he always was classy. He always kept his reserve, even when people openly were disrespecting him while he was speaking.
Well, I went back to that thick skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people would openly disrespect him at his rallies, and he'd be like, "That's okay. Well, let them go out and vote." Like he always kept his calm and cool and his reserve, and regardless of whatever people were saying about him, the brother remained classy, man. And that's and in my lifetime, from what I've seen and when I started actually paying attention to how a man conducts himself, I gotta feel it's that brother.
I could understand that, man. I like Barack. I like Barack. I like Barack, one, because he's relatable. He speaks well. He represents. When I look at them, I look at what I feel is a great example for the black household.
Yeah.
He's a father who's a leader of his home, but he has a wife that he supports, and she supports him. Beautiful kids. They're all intelligent, well-spoken, well-educated. I can rock with you on the Barack thing, man.
Yeah,
I'm rock with you on that. So, man, I thought about this for a while, and I want you to think about somebody else. Who I'm about to get to. I thought about this for a while, so I took it old school. If y'all don't know the next person about the name, if y'all don't know him, please look him up. Harry Belafonte.
Yeah. Okay.
He
argue with Harry.
So he worked in the civil rights movement. He did great work. He was an actor. He was an accomplished singer. He all around good looking guy. Like he was a Renaissance man to the T.
Very much so.
He was very cultured in the arts. He was just a good representation of the African American male.
Very much so. Nah, that's a good choice.
So I had to think about it for a second. I was like, who can I? All right, bam. He never held his tongue. He spoke up for things that he believed in, and he did it all in a very stylish way. I like because I was thinking about Barack, but I just want to take it back a little.
Oh no, hell,
because I felt like
Harry did his thing.
I felt like Barack would have been an obvious choice.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't go with Barack. That's why I didn't.
Now Harry is a very, very good choice.
That's why I didn't go with Barack. You got anybody else to come to mind on that?
As far as just gentlemen,
yeah.
Oof. I'd have to continue to think. Nah, I don't. Nobody pops off hand right now.
Nobody just pop off in your head like that, man. Man, and the thing with me, it's not that nobody else pops in my head. There's so many people.
It's hard to choose one.
there are a lot of people, man. There are a lot of people that go unnoticed, and I'm just not even just famous people, just people I've known in my community, man. Man, I tell you one. I just popped in my head right now. My personal and finance teacher from college, Dr. Jan Jasper. And the only reason I say that because nice brother, had a wonderful family, and that was the first time he was the first teacher that ever made me feel like he cared about me.
Okay.
He'd ask me, hey, what are your plans? What are you doing next? Okay. How are you going to do that? How you plan on accomplishing that? You got any internships? Well, you know what? He put me with these people who knew how to do this. He put me with those people who knew how to do that. He did everything he could to put me in a better position. So a lot of those people would talk, he didn't care what nobody else thought. So a lot of those things that just showed skills of being a man, he did that.
Okay.
And I'm appreciative of that. And as one of the first people that made me just realize, all right, it's not just doing enough isn't enough.
Yeah.
You got to dig deep because a lot of people are just doing enough. So shout out to Dr. Jan Jasper. Appreciate you, man.
Shout out, Dr. Jasper.
Oh, my gosh. But nah, man. Royce, anybody, you good? No, you can't think of nobody else, man?
As far as gentlemen, I mean, like I said, it's a bunch of different guys, man. It's a bunch of different guys. I mean, my grandfather was a very good gentleman. He might not have dressed gentlemanly,
but it's not even about the clothes, man.
He was working.
It's not even about the clothes.
7 days a week, 16 hours a day.
Oh, he was real.
Yeah, yeah. And I never saw the man yell at my grandmother. I never saw him do anything disrespectful. He was such a mild-mannered guy. He was very quiet and not talkative, but he was the type that was respected by everybody around him. And I never saw him yell, like not once. But the way he carried himself, like my grandmother respected him so much, it was crazy. She wasn't scared of him, but she respected him. And
admiration.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
He treated her with so much respect that, I saw that at a young age, and I was like, oh wow. Like, so when he got sick, I was in the 3rd grade. Had 7 strokes because he worked for so long. He worked for 40 years at a chemical plant.
Oh, man.
And I had 7 strokes. And everybody was telling my grandmother to put him in a nursing home because she would have to take care of him around the clock. Feed him, change him, whatever, because, it's 7 strokes. And she was like, this man took care of me for 40 years out of our marriage, and he never disrespected me, not once. You mean to tell me that I'm not going to take care of him for the next 40 years? And she took care of him from my 3rd grade all the way up to my sophomore year in college when he died. And so that was that. And that was the first man that, even though I didn't learn all the in-depths of being a man from him,
yeah,
I learned what to do and what not to do in hindsight to people that you care about and to people, period. Because he was the type, he didn't have to yell, he didn't have to curse, he didn't have to do anything. And people and he wasn't a big man in stature. And just everybody around him loved him and respected him.
Love and respect him. Well, you know what, Royce? There you have it.
Yeah.
Love and respect him, man. Yeah, I can't even follow that up with nothing else, man. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Man, we hope you enjoyed this week's show. I'm Mr. WJ Knots.
I'm Body by Royce.
This is Jizz for Gentlemen. Till next week. Oh, and happy Black History Month.
Oh, already. Have a happy Black History Month. Y'all have a good one.